Here we go. Two titans of the digital global economy. Not me and Harmeen. That's the UK and India. But I do love that title. It's an absolute pleasure to chat to you today, Harmeen. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is a quote that Harmeen wrote. She doesn't know I'm going to bring up this quote. I love this quote. The only success in life is to do what you want to do. And it was something that she was taught at a very young age.
That's true.
From your family. Has it stuck with you? Do you spread that word, that gospel almost?
I absolutely do. I think if you really enjoy your work, you haven't worked a day in your life as well. And it's really important. I think in today's world and today's age, and you saw that in the group before as well. I think passion trumps everything else, and passion and talent, that's the road to success. So you really got to love what you do, and you should always, I think if in life you can't do what you want to do, what's the point?
And you've always loved sort of breaking things, putting them back together from a very young age, haven't you? And your parents encouraged that, didn't they?
Yeah. So
do you encourage that at BT? Right, we're going to break things and put things back together.
I definitely encourage that.
Yes.
So I'm waiting to see how much of that BT can take.
Catching on?
Yeah, exactly.
What's been the experience like? You've been there since March 2021.
Yeah.
What's been your experience, Harmeen, of coming to England? I know you lived here before.
Yeah.
You came at a tricky time, pandemic, Brexit, Suez Canal. Someone told me that a big ship was stuck there. What was it like, that whole experience? And what does it tell us about the whole moving to and from India?
First of all, moving countries in the middle of a pandemic, would never advise it, no matter what happens. It was horrible. I joined BT in March, but there was lockdown, both countries, so I actually couldn't come to the UK. We were planning for me to come early May, and then India was put on the red list, so I had to smuggle myself out of the country in 24 hours notice, because it was the same week where actually the Prime Minister from the UK was going to India, and then they decided not to do that and put it on the red list. Yeah. So it was horrible. I had to leave the family to help with packing and everything in the house, and I literally just got on a plane, landed, couldn't get a house, so stayed in a service apartment for a long time. Then when the shipment came, Suez Canal happened, so the ship is stuck there.
Yeah.
Then that got cleared. When the shipment came, there was lockdown again in the UK. So now have the shipment but don't have a house. Then got the shipment, put it somewhere, parked it, and again waiting for the countries to start to open up, then looked for a house, but then there was no labor to finish all the work and finishing of the house before I could move in because of Brexit and everything, a lot of shortage of staff here.
That's right.
So by the time all of that got sorted, it was December.
Gosh,
yeah,
that's quite a slog, isn't it?
I tell you. And if I tell you everything, I ordered things in December for moving into the house, and the last of which arrived last week. So it only took about 6 months. Nothing much.
But you're finally settled.
I am finally settled,
It took a while. The theme of this wonderful forum, Harmeen, is this collaboration, this reimagining of the relationship as we celebrate these 75 years of independence. What does a joint digital vision look like between India and the UK, Harmeen?
See, UK is a very large digital economy, and I think what I love about the UK is that almost all of us, we live our lives digitally in some shape or form, and COVID in the last, the pandemic has only accelerated a large part of that. The second piece is, if I look at India and, last 7-8 years that I've been there, I'm amazed at just the digital talent that is available there. And I feel that's unlocking a large part of the digital potential in several countries around the world, and definitely for the UK as well. For me personally, in BT, for our digital unit, my largest hub is actually in Bangalore. And for BT, outside of the UK, our biggest hub in the world is also in India, in 8 different cities. But I think it's really, there's a lot of need and want to transform within the UK, and there's a lot of talent available there, and it's the marriage of the two that really makes things happen for corporates.
Can we bring the two together?
We are
That's the
already
big
starting to
challenge.
bring it together, but I
Yeah.
think what we've got to do is make it easier
Yeah.
for these things to work together. I think we've got it easier for, a large part of what enables economies is corporates, and getting the corporates back to growth after, having spent the last 2.5 years in an unprecedented way that every corporate had to learn how to continue and run its business in a very different manner. And especially in the enterprise businesses, the economy hasn't fully bounced back yet as well. And as they're, all the companies are recovering and finding their ways back to growth, I think that's where we've got to actually make it easier for these two countries to work better with each other, to be able to avail both the needs and the wants of one, and
Is
also
that your
the demand
message
of
to the
other.
government as
Very
these?
strong message.
If Boris Johnson was standing there,
Yes.
What would your number one wish list request be?
My wish list would be do only one job, which is make it easier for the
Yeah.
two countries to work together. And after that, just let the corporates do their job. And we will set our own metrics and help the economy grow in the UK, but just make it easier for us to do business.
Give us more of a sense of India and BT, how important India is for BT, and what your vision is as a company.
See, our own staff strength, we have more than almost 12,000 people there, and adding a few more thousand in the coming months as well. But in a broader sense, through a lot of work we do with a lot of other subcontractors and IT companies, etc., we employ close to almost like 30,000 people. That is a lot.
That is.
So it's a big part of our success. Actually, those people are contributing into that success. So it's. I think for us, India is very, very intrinsic. And in fact, I was just there a few weeks back, kicking off an entire revitalization of our new strategy, what we're going to do, how we're going to accelerate the company, and how we're going to invest much more over there as well in order to do that. And for BT, I would say it's a very, very, very important country. In fact, the history between the two countries, for BT in India goes back a very long way. I mean, I'm from Bharti, and many, many years ago, more than a decade and a half ago, BT actually invested in Airtel. It was a small minority stake, but they actually had that in India, and we have that. We've recently done another investment in Safe Security, which is, one of the leading security companies in the country, and we've got a large security business. So we invested in Safe, and it's a product we're taking to market around the world in all the 130 countries that we're present in, and it's getting rave reviews.
How big could it get, as in? I mean, you say 30,000. That's like a big stadium. I can imagine.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like Old Trafford, is it?
No.
Small. Will you
Not that small compared to
Will you
Old
fill Old Trafford?
Almost,
By the way,
yes.
Manchester United fans.
Yes,
We are one.
exactly.
Manchester United fans in the room? Hands up.
There's
One,
two.
two.
Three.
What fans are we? Just shout out. Who do we support? Arsenal. Okay, I'll forgive you. Any others? We'll get on to cricket in a minute, but any football fans? That India, exactly. So, will you be able to fill Old Trafford?
Yes.
80,000, isn't it? How soon before you have 80,000 employees in India?
Well, I don't know how many employees we're going to have in India, but that's almost almost all of BT. But I don't know if that will happen. But I think from what we are looking to do, see, at the core of our BT strategy is digitizing the whole company.
Of course.
And as we do that, there is one of the biggest advantages that we want to play on is our presence in India, because that's one of the largest digital skill hub in the world. So we'd really, want to leverage that a lot more. Plus, I think at the same point, it's where we've made so much of investments that for us to just invest more and reap a lot more out of it, that's the best step we want to take there.
Yeah. On the skills front, it's so important. We're going to be talking so much about skills and training and, and education. How can the two countries work closer on skills, on training, and what strengths do you think, Harmeen, need to be leveraged better?
See, there are, again, 2-3 areas. One of them is the tech skills are available in abundance in India. what is needed more is the relevance of different countries, different economies, because the customer needs are different in every country. And that's where I feel that, as part of the trade agreement, if we make it easier for corporates to actually lean in on that, we can put a context around those skills, which actually means that it's not only that, if we have a big tie-up with IISc, for example. So you're not only training people on data science, but it's data science people who are closer to problems that would be relevant to the UK and the telecom industry, et cetera. It just frames, for the youngsters coming up in that stream, it just puts a context around their technical skills, which makes them far more productive from day one when they come into corporates. And the more productive they are on day one, the more incentivized the corporates are to next year go back and get even more deeper skills and more people and so on and so forth. So I think it's putting the industry's lens and an economy and a kind of a UK lens around some of those skills that will really help the corporate world leverage a lot more. The second piece is, one of the big ambitions we've got in the UK is, providing digital skills, and BT is a big partner with the UK government on that in the UK, and we've set up a big digital campus, which is what we're going to leverage for ourselves in BT as we reskill a large part of our workforce as we modernize. But we're going to take all of those skills and, do it for the UK market. And today our small and medium enterprise business actually does that. They're skilling millions of people in the UK. It's a brilliant partnership to have on both fronts as well. A country that is one of the largest needs for digital skills, and another country which is one of the largest providers of digital skills in the world,
it's
outside
the
of the
marriage,
valley.
isn't it?
Exactly.
And is that the essence of this quantum leap which Prime Minister Modi talks about? How do we realize this quantum leap? What would you suggest?
I think it's that, plus also looking at real business opportunities. It's looking at, influencing the startup industries. It's about us exposing the different problems that we're looking to solve for ourselves as an economy, as well as, for our customers, et cetera, and using these skills from around the world to be actually, using the power of that thinking and that product thinking and, the digital thinking that actually India gives us to be able to solve those problems, and looking at them in a disruptive way and looking at it in a very different way. Taking a lot of those startups, it's now one of the largest startup producers in the world after the US and China. And
what is it about India and its startups? What is it about the culture that engendered?
The honest answer is it's Indians.
Yeah.
It's how we think. There's no problem, we don't think there's any problem we can't solve. And at the same time, we also think the bigger the problem, the more energized we are.
Yes.
I think it's also it's a little bit about when, as a country, if you look at the last 100 years, we've had independence for 75 years and a lot we went through before that. It's just a bit of grit is kind of built into you. And because of that, the perseverance to be able to take a problem and not leave it till you've actually got to the bottom of it and you have won over the problem. I think it's that grit that is what a lot of the startups bring, and that perseverance to saying, I'm going to take this problem and I'm going to make it so small that it disappears.
Yeah.
And I love that.
You've had a fantastic chat when you look at the clock and you think, I've only done 5 minutes. We've done 17 minutes. Time has flown, which is why we're going to have a quick fire round of questions, because Harmeen, by the way, has lived in 11 countries. She's worked across 30 countries. So I thought, bit of fun, quick fire round. Let's find out which countries, cities, places, foods she loves and maybe likes less. By the way, you can't say India or UK, so neither of those two. Favorite country?
Spain.
Why?
Look at the best paintings and art around the world, and you'll find it in either the Thyssen or the Prado, and the best museums in the world.
Favorite city?
Rome.
Why?
I just think I'm a sucker for World Heritage sites, and I have on my bucket list is seeing as many World Heritage sites as I can.
Yeah.
And I think Italy is just, for a tiny little country, it's got them in abundance.
Food? Favorite food?
This is difficult now because you've taken the two countries away. I'd say Thai.
Yeah?
Thai or Italian, both I like.
You've lived in Thailand, have you?
No, I haven't lived in Thailand, no.
Just like love the Thai food. Favorite building?
Actually, the Ajanta Ellora caves in India. I think they were robbed of the top 7 wonders of the world. They were robbed of their position. Someday I'm going to camp outside them and fight that battle.
Favorite culture?
I think I love the global culture. I had a very secure upbringing. I was first 10, 12 years of my life, I was I'm Sikh by religion and practice a lot of Hinduism, and brought up 10, 12 years in a Roman Catholic convent. A lot of my closest friends was Muslim during my first 10 years of my life, and very secular, highly secular upbringing. And I think that shaped me into being the human being I am.
Yeah.
So I really feel you have to be a global citizen.
Yeah.
I think that world of just being boxed in one place, it's dead.
Favorite cricketer?
Oh, it has to be. It used to be Sunil Gavaskar, and now I was quite with Virat Kohli. I'm currently shopping for the next one.
Shopping for the next one. And favorite footballer? Final question.
Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
The only one.
The only
There's
one.
no other.
I love him too. Thank you, Harmeen.
All right.
It's been brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Mark.
Big
Lovely
round of
chatting to
applause.
you.
Harmeen Mehta, Chief Digital and Innovation Officer at BT. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very good to see
Thank
you.
you.